let me tell you something tender and true today. Overthinking doesn't fix problems. It creates them. It's like being trapped in a rocking chair that never moves forward. Your mind's racing, your body's still, but your soul's exhausted. And worst of all, you end up mistaking motion for progress. Worry starts to feel like responsibility, and your peace becomes the price you pay just to feel prepared. But let's be clear, you're not weak for spinning out. You're not broken for not knowing how to stop. You're human. And right now, you're just caught in the loop. And I know that loop. I've lived there. Waking up inside a storm of what-ifs that never seem to end. But here's what I need you to hear right now. Even if your chest feels tight and your brain feels loud, you are not alone. And more importantly, you are not powerless. In this video, I'm going to count down the top 5 ways to quiet your mind and illuminate how they're able to prevent the stench of overthinker stinkers from ranking up the place with the wonderful aroma of body odor seasoned with projection, as these aren't just hacks or tips, they're orientation tools. Lanterns I picked up on the path when I was just as lost as you might feel right now. And if you let them in, if you practice them with curiosity instead of pressure, they just might change your entire inner landscape. You ready? Let's get into it. Kicking things off at number 5 of this saucy Stoicism countdown, protecting the gate of your mind. Your mind is like a sponge, and lately, it's been soaking up sludge. The news, the noise, the endless scroll of "I'm better than you" highlights. All of it leaves your inner world buzzing, anxious, starving. This isn't about ignorance. It's about intentional nourishment, because you'd never eat junk food all day and expect to feel alive. So why do we do that with our thoughts? You're not broken. You're just mentally overstimulated and spiritually underfed. So start small, protect the gate, choose what gets in, feed yourself stories that heal, listen to words that anchor. Let silence speak to you again. You don't need more input. You need more inner signal. And when you clear the mental noise, you'll start to hear the quiet truth again. You matter, you're not behind. You're just one clear choice away from coming home to yourself. Which slides us straight into number 4 of this saucy Stoicism countdown, setting a worry time and then letting it go. You've probably been taught that if something feels heavy, you have to carry it all day to prove you're being responsible. But overthinking isn't responsibility. It's just a brain with no boundaries, trying to protect you from every possible angle. Your mind was never meant to run 24/7 diagnostics on your life. It's like leaving your car running in the garage overnight. Eventually, something breaks down. So try this instead. Give your worry a home. Not the whole house, just one little room. Set a timer. 10 minutes, 15, if the anxiety's extra chatty. And in that time, let the floodgates open. Vent, write, spiral with intention. Let your brain unpack the chaos where it can't spill everywhere. And then, when the timer ends, close the door. Say, "I've already thought about that today." You're not ignoring your thoughts. You're teaching your mind how to respect your peace. You're training your nervous system to recognize worry is not your identity. It's just a visitor. Boundaries don't make you careless. They make you clear. You're not here to be a full-time worrier. You're here to be present, to hold space for joy, stillness, and that gentle part of you that's trying to breathe again. So go ahead, set a worry time, and then walk yourself back into the light. Which slides us straight into number 3 of this saucy Stoicism countdown, accepting that you can't control everything. I know, your brain's trying to keep you safe. That's what overthinking really is, right? It's not that you're broken, It's that you're scared. Scared of picking the wrong thing. Scared of what they'll say. Scared you'll mess it all up and won't recover. So, you rehearse every scenario. Replay every conversation. Analyze every ripple in the water, thinking maybe this time you'll outsmart the waves. But here's the hard truth, gently spoken. No amount of thinking will ever give you control over life, because control is an illusion. The weather will shift without your permission. People will respond in ways that confuse you. And life's going to throw curveballs, no matter how well you planned the play. But when you stop fighting that, when you stop trying to predict every outcome just to feel safe, you begin to flow with life. Instead of constantly swimming upstream, you begin to breathe again. Here's something small that's helped me feel a little more grounded. Take a piece of paper, draw a circle. Inside it, write what you can control. Outside it, everything you can't. And then, when the spiral starts, when the panic rises, when the overthinking tries to steal your peace, ask yourself softly, is this within my control? And if the answer is no, let it go. Not because it doesn't matter, but because you do. And you weren't built to carry what was never yours to hold. You don't have to figure it all out today. You just have to come home to yourself. One breath, one truth, one release at a time. Which leads us straight into number 2 of this saucy Stoicism countdown. Being where your feet are. I know that sounds simple, but for people like us, who live in the land of what-ifs, and why did I do that? Being present is actually a radical act of spiritual resistance. Because overthinking, it rips you out of the now and throws you into the fog of imagined futures or the weight of unresolved yesterdays. But mindfulness says, come back to the moment that actually exists. This breath, this beat, this second. Picture this. You're sitting in a quiet park, a breeze brushing your face, birds singing like the world is trying to soothe you. But your mind, still trapped in that argument from 3 days ago, replaying it, editing it, spiraling inside it. Even though it's already over, your body's still reacting. Tight chest, clenched jaw, restless hands. That's the trap of overthinking. You leave the present, but you bring the stress with you. So here's the invitation. Try a gentle return, not a command, not a fix. Just a return. Feel your breath. Notice 5 things you can see. 4 you can touch. 3 you can hear. 2 you can smell. And 1 thing you're grateful for. Let your senses be your soul's compass. Let your body be your anchor. Even 2 minutes a day, just 2, can begin to rewire your nervous system. Not because you're trying to escape the noise, but because you're finally listening to the quiet. You don't need to master mindfulness. You just need to return to it. Again and again and again and again. If this helped you find your footing again, or reminded you how to breathe, I'd be honored if you stayed for the next step. You're not broken for getting lost in thought, but you are powerful enough to find your way back, one breath at a time. Well, last but not least, coming in at number 1 of this saucy Stoicism countdown, is my personal favorite way of getting out of my own head. Moving your body, even when it feels useless. Overthinking is a thief. Here is how to steal your power back. You're not lazy, you're just stuck. You're carrying so many thoughts. You can't tell where you end and the noise begins. That's what overthinking does. It scrambles your inner compass and then whispers, you need to figure it all out before you take one step. But here's the truth you probably already feel in your gut. Thinking alone won't save you. You have to move, even if it's tiny, even if it's clumsy, even if you feel like a confused little chicken nugget with existential dread. Here's the code. Tiny steps break the spell. If it takes 2 minutes, do it now. If you're overwhelmed, shrink the task until it feels like nothing. Then celebrate that nothing like it's something. Why? Because it is something. Every action is a spark, and sparks build fires. When you move your body, you move your story. And when your story moves, your mind stops pacing in circles. Whenever I start thinking too much about the past or the future, especially in ways that aren't helping, that's always a sign for me to get off my gluteus maximus and move around a bit. That's why momentum is medicine. Confidence doesn't come from having the perfect plan. It comes from proving to yourself, I still move, even when I'm unsure. So no, you don't need to silence every thought. That's not the game. You don't win by erasing the mind. You win by relating to it differently. Hey thoughts, I see you, I hear you, but I don't have to follow you down every hallway. That's peace, that's power. You're not here to solve life in your head. You're here to live it. And the path back to yourself, it starts with one small step. Not after the anxiety is gone, but in the middle of it. So go do the tiny thing, the imperfect thing, the awkward thing. Just start moving, even if you don't feel ready, even if you don't believe in yourself. Belief comes after the action, not before. Say no to overthinking, starting now, not by fighting your mind, but by befriending motion, by honoring your momentum, by showing your anxious self. With all that being said, thanks again for watching. Stay up, stay blessed, and I'll catch you all on the flip side.